November 19, 1942. Stalingrad, Soviet Union. The Volga River is frozen solid, a gray ribbon cutting through the ruined city. Private Ivan Kuznetsov, 24-year-old rifleman from a collective farm near Voronezh, crouches in the shattered basement of what was once a bakery on 9th January Square. The temperature is minus 25 degrees Celsius. His greatcoat is frozen stiff, boots wrapped in rags, hands black from frostbite and gun oil. The air smells of cordite, burning wood, and death. The rumble of German artillery never stops. Shells scream overhead, exploding in the rubble above, showering dust and ice. Ivan presses his back against the cold concrete, Mosin Nagant rifle between his knees, bayonet fixed. His squad, 5 men left from the original 30, is silent. No one speaks anymore. Words are wasted breath. Above them, the Germans hold the upper floors. They can hear boots moving, the metallic clank of MG-34 belts being fed, the low murmur of orders in German. The enemy is close. Sometimes only a thin layer of broken flooring separates life from death. A grenade rolls down the stairs. Ivan sees it first. Potato masher, fuse hissing. He lunges, scoops it, and hurls it back up the stairwell. The explosion is deafening. Shrapnel pings off the walls. A scream from above, German, cut short. The squad waits. Then the counterattack comes. German stormtroopers in white camouflage charge down the stairs, MP-40s chattering. Ivan fires from the hip, once, twice. A soldier in field gray falls, clutching his throat. Another leaps over the body, bayonet gleaming. Ivan meets him, steel clashes, grunts, blood on the floor. He drives the bayonet home, twists, pulls free. The basement becomes a slaughterhouse, hand to hand, no quarter. Men scream, curse, die in every language. Ivan feels a knife slash his forearm, hot, wet. He fires point blank into a face, the muzzle flash lighting the darkness like lightning. When the Germans fall back, only 3 of Ivan's squad remain. They drag the wounded to the back wall, tie tourniquets with bootlaces, stuff rags into bullet holes. No morphine, no doctor, just pain and cold. Outside, the city is hell. Buildings burn despite the snow. The Volga is choked with ice floes and frozen corpses. The Germans are everywhere. Panzers in the streets, snipers in every window. The 6th Army is trapped, but they fight like cornered wolves. Ivan's platoon is ordered to hold the Red October factory. They crawl through the ruins at night, avoiding flares that turn the sky white. The factory is a maze of twisted steel beams, shattered machinery, mountains of slag. The Germans hold the northern halls, the Soviets hold the south. Between them, a no-man's land of corpses frozen where they fell. Every day is the same: artillery, sniping, raids, starvation. The bread ration is 125 grams, half a fist. Men eat rats, leather belts, wallpaper paste. Ivan's teeth are loose from scurvy. His vision blurs. One night in December, the Germans break through. They come with flamethrowers. Fire roars down the corridors. Men burn alive, screaming, running, rolling in the snow. Ivan retreats to the basement, seals the door with a fallen beam. The heat is unbearable. Smoke seeps in. They wait for the fire to die. When they emerge, half of the platoon is gone. The survivors are ghosts, blackened faces, burned hands, empty eyes. January 1943. The pocket is shrinking. The Germans are starving too, but they still fight. Ivan's unit is ordered to attack a German strongpoint in the Univermag department store. They charge across open ground under machine gun fire. Ivan sees his friend Sasha cut in half by a burst. He keeps running. Inside the store, hand to hand again. Bayonets, shovels, fists. Ivan fights a German officer in the ruined perfume counter. The man is tall, blonde, blue eyes wide with fear. They grapple. Ivan drives the bayonet into the German's chest. The man gasps, blood bubbling. As he dies, he whispers something. Maybe a name, maybe a prayer. Ivan stands over the body, shaking. He looks at the face. Young, like him. The end comes fast. Paulus surrenders on February 2nd. The guns stop. Silence is deafening. Ivan survives, barely. He is evacuated across the Volga on a barge full of wounded and frostbitten. He watches Stalingrad burn behind him, a city reduced to rubble, a graveyard for 2 million men. Years later, in the quiet of his village, Ivan rarely speaks of it, but when he does, he says the same thing. Stalingrad was not a battle. It was a nightmare from which some of us never woke. This is the story of one Soviet soldier who survived the bloodiest battle in human history, a nightmare of cold, fire, hunger, and endless death. December 1942. Red October Tractor Factory, northern Stalingrad. The massive workshops are a labyrinth of twisted steel girders, shattered machinery, and mountains of slag frozen in place. Private Ivan Kuznetsov crawls through a narrow gap between two massive lathes, Mosin Nagant slung across his back, bayonets scraping the concrete. His breath is white vapor, fingers numb inside fingerless mittens. The factory is divided. Soviets hold the southern halls, Germans the north. Between them, a no-man's land of corpses, some frozen upright, still clutching rifles. The Germans attack every dawn. They come with flamethrowers and grenades, clearing room by room. Ivan's platoon is ordered to hold the foundry hall. 3 walls, 1 roof half collapsed, open to the sky. The floor is slick with ice and blood. At 04:30, the assault begins. Artillery first. 88mm shells crash through the roof, exploding in the center of the hall. Shrapnel scythes through men. Ivan dives behind an overturned lathe as a shell detonates nearby, the blast wave slamming him against the machine. Ears ringing, he crawls, finds his squad leader, Sergeant Volkov, bleeding from the head. "Machine gun," Volkov gasps. "Cover the door." Ivan drags a Maxim gun from the corner, sets it on a broken workbench. The Germans are already charging, white camouflage, MP40s chattering. Ivan opens fire. The Maxim jams after 20 rounds, frozen oil. He clears it with numb fingers, cursing. The gun roars again. Germans fall, but more come. Hand to hand in the smoke, Ivan meets a German in the corridor between machines. The man swings a shovel. Ivan ducks, drives his bayonet up under the ribs. The German gasps, eyes wide, falls. Ivan pulls the blade free, blood steaming in the cold. The Germans retreat. The hall is silent except for the crackle of fire and the moans of the wounded. Ivan's squad is down to 7 men. They drag bodies to the back, stack them as a barricade. No time for burial. The cold preserves them anyway. Days blur. Hunger is constant. The bread ration is cut to 75 grams. Men boil leather straps, eat wallpaper paste scraped from the walls. Ivan's gums bleed, his teeth loosen. He dreams of his mother's borscht, wakes with frost on his eyelashes. One night, a German sniper nestles in the rafters. He fires every time someone moves. 3 men die before Ivan spots the muzzle flash. He waits hours, motionless, then climbs the girders in the dark. The sniper doesn't see him coming. Ivan grabs him from behind, knife to throat. The man struggles. Ivan whispers in broken German, "Quiet," then slits. He drops the body. The sniper fire stops. But the cold kills more than bullets. Frostbite claims toes, fingers. Men amputate their own frozen feet with bayonets to stop gangrene. January 10th, 1943. The pocket is shrinking. The Germans are starving too, but they fight to the last round. Ivan's unit is ordered to storm the Univermag department store, Paulus's headquarters. They charge across open ground under machine gun fire. Ivan sees his friend Sasha cut in half by a burst. He keeps running, screaming rage. Inside the store, dark, ruined halls, perfume counters shattered, mannequins in tatters. Hand to hand, Ivan fights a German officer among the broken glass.
Tall, blonde, blue eyes. They grapple. The officer strong. Ivan drives his bayonet home. The man falls, gasping, whispering something, maybe a name. Ivan stands over him, shaking. The face is young, like his own. The end is near.
January 1943. Northern Stalingrad. The pocket is a shrinking noose. The Germans are starving, frozen, and dying by the thousands, but they still hold the high ground, the factories, the department stores. Private Ivan Petrovich Kuznetsov and what remains of his platoon, 4 men now, are ordered to hold the grain elevator on the Volga bank. The building is a fortress of concrete silos riddled with holes from artillery and tank fire. The Germans want it. They need the high observation point to direct their last artillery. The temperature drops to -35 degrees Celsius. The wind howls off the frozen river like a living thing. Ivan's feet are black with frostbite. He can no longer feel them. He wraps them in more rags torn from dead comrades' coats. The bread ration is gone. Now it's 50 grams of horse meat a day, if the supply planes can break through the AA fire. Most days, they can't. Every night, the Germans probe. They come crawling through the snow in white camouflage, with grenades and submachine guns. Ivan and his men wait in the dark silos, listening to the crunch of boots on ice. When the Germans get close, they open fire from slits in the concrete. Short bursts save ammunition. One night in mid-January, the Germans break through the outer perimeter. Flamethrowers light the night orange. Fire roars up the stairwells. Ivan's squad retreats to the top silo. The heat is unbearable. Men scream as their clothes catch fire. Ivan drags a burning comrade back, rolls him in snow, smothers the flames with his own coat. The man dies anyway. They hold the top floor for 3 days. No food, no water, only melted snow from shell holes, black with soot and blood. The Germans shell the elevator constantly. Concrete dust chokes the air. Ivan coughs blood. His lungs burn. On the 3rd day, the Germans charge up the stairs with bayonets fixed. Ivan meets them at the door, hand to hand in the narrow passage. He kills 1, 2, 3. The 4th is fast. Knife slashes Ivan's cheek open to the bone. Blood freezes instantly. Ivan fires his last round into the man's face. The Germans fall back again. That night, Ivan's last comrade, Sergeant Volkov, dies quietly. Frostbite gangrene. Ivan sits beside the body, too numb to cry. He takes Volkov's last cigarette, smokes it slowly, watching the glow. January 26th. The pocket is split in 2. Paulus is in the Univermag basement. The radio crackles with surrender rumors, but the fighting doesn't stop. Ivan's unit is ordered to attack a German strongpoint in the ruined theater. They charge through rubble under machine gun fire. Ivan sees men cut down like wheat. He keeps running, screaming, bayonet fixed. Inside the theater, dark, shattered seats, frozen corpses in the aisles, Germans in the balcony, grenades roll down. Ivan throws one back. It explodes in the German ranks. Then silence. The Germans raise a white flag. Ivan approaches slowly. The German officer steps out, dirty, bearded, eyes hollow. He speaks Russian, broken. "We surrender. No more bullets. No more fight." Ivan stares. The man is young, like him. He lowers his rifle. The Germans file out, hands up, weapons dropped. Ivan's men watch in stunned silence. The end has come. February 2nd, official surrender. The guns stop. The silence is deafening.
Ivan is evacuated across the Volga on a crowded barge. He watches Stalingrad burn behind him, a city of rubble and ghosts. He survives, but the nightmare never fully leaves.
February 2, 1943. Stalingrad Central. The city is a frozen graveyard of twisted steel and shattered stone. Private Ivan Kuznetsov stands on the roof of the Univermag department store, the last German strongpoint, staring at the white flag fluttering from a broken flagpole. The wind is bitter, but the guns have stopped. The silence is unnatural. After months of constant roar, the absence of sound is deafening. Below, in the basement, General Friedrich Paulus signs the surrender document. The Sixth Army, once 300,000 strong, is finished. Over 91,000 survivors march into captivity, ghosts in rags, frostbitten, starving. Ivan's platoon is ordered to guard the prisoners. They line the streets, rifles ready, but no one shoots. The Germans are too broken to run. Ivan sees the faces, young boys, old men, officers who once shouted orders, now shuffling like old men. One German soldier looks up at Ivan, eyes hollow. He raises a trembling hand, not in salute, but in plea. Ivan lowers his rifle. There is nothing left to fight. The evacuation begins. Ivan is loaded onto a barge across the Volga. The river is still choked with ice and bodies. He sits on the deck, wrapped in a blanket, watching the burning city recede. Smoke rises from the ruins like funeral pyres. The Volga is red with blood and fire. On the far bank, medics swarm. Ivan is carried to a field hospital, tent city of wounded. His cheek wound is cleaned, frostbite treated with painful scrubbing. He is given hot soup, real soup with potatoes. He cries when he tastes it. Weeks later, in a hospital train heading east, Ivan stares out the window at the endless steppe. The nightmare is over, but it is not gone. Every night he dreams of the factory flames, the frozen corpses, the German officers' dying whisper. He returns home in 1945 after the war ends. His village is half destroyed. His mother embraces him, weeping. She asks what happened. He cannot speak of it. Words fail. Years pass. Ivan marries, has children, works the collective farm. But on quiet nights, when the wind howls, he hears the Stalingrad wind again. He sees the faces, Soviet and German, young men like him, caught in the machine of war. In his last years, he speaks once to his grandson. Stalingrad was not victory, it was survival. And survival is the worst thing that can happen to a man who has seen hell. He dies in 1998, quietly in his sleep. The nightmare ends with him, but the city remembers, the ruins remember, the Volga remembers. This is the story of one Soviet soldier who walked through the gates of hell and somehow walked out.